Hey everyone, welcome back. My name's Dustin Kreis, and today we're going to do a game discussion. We're going to talk about this game right here, Nier Automata, for the PlayStation 4, brought to us, of course, by Square Enix. A continuation of the Drakengard / Nier series. And I gotta tell you, as much as this game was a surprise when it was announced, getting it and playing it, it's that much more of a surprise. I love the Nier series, Drakengard series. My first game in the series was Nier on the Xbox, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a fantastic game. And then I went back and bought Drakengard 1 and 2, played Drakengard 1 for a good amount of time, got kind of stuck in it, and put it up for a little bit, and then just never went back to it. Never played Drakengard 2. When Drakengard 3 came out, I of course bought the special edition of it. Absolutely loved Drakengard 3. I thought it was one of the best games out there for the time, for the PlayStation 3. And then I just kind of thought, you know, the series would have ended because Drakengard 3 it came out, it was very well received, but it didn't seem like it really, I don't know if it sold a bunch for Square Enix. And Square Enix is a very number-conscious company nowadays. So I really wasn't expecting to see anything more in the series. And then I think it was E3 last year or maybe 2 years ago. I can't remember what exact year. They did an announcement for Nier. And we were all just kind of blown away that this game was coming. It finally came, and it is fantastic. So many publications are, you know, claiming this to be one of the best RPGs out there, period, and I have to agree with them. I really was really surprised by Nier, and I really shouldn't have been because, you know, Nier and Drakengard 3 were awesome games, maybe a little technically, you know, not up to snuff to the other stuff that's coming out, but they were always great, charming games, and I guess what I mean by not technically up to snuff is there was always a little bit of graphical jank or some, you know, gameplay quirks with the games that kind of kept them from being widespread, I guess, widespread hits, I guess, I don't know. But for Nier Automata, Square Enix brought in Platinum Games to help out with the game, and it really paid off hugely. Everything that you love about Nier and Drakengard is here, added with the polish of having Platinum Games just knock this thing out of the park. This is one of the best action RPGs ever made. I just love this game to death. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it and talk about this game. If you know anything about the Drakengard series, you know they're all kind of connected, but they're all kind of connected in weird ways. Like each game has multiple endings, and then like Nier was the offshoot of Drakengard's D ending or something like that, you know. So from what I understood, this is an offshoot of, I think it's Nier's D ending. I could be wrong on that, but it's one of the other endings to Nier. And what we find that, you know, several thousands of years have passed, humanity's been wiped out and replaced by machines. And orbiting Earth is this small space station that's sort of the guardian of humanity. And this space station is populated by androids that are not only protecting humanity, but also trying to fight to take Earth back from the machines in order to allow humans to repopulate the Earth. And that's where 2B comes in. She's one of these combat models that goes down to the planet and sort of tries to, you know, stop the machines, take it back. And where the game goes from here, I don't really want to get too much into everything. But the thing I love about Nier and Drakengard 3 is it has these really sort of simple plot lines. You know, Nier was all about saving your daughter from this disease. Drakengard 3 was all about revenge. But as the games progress, a lot of philosophical ideas really get presented in a really awesome way, and Nier Automata is no different. You know, what is life? What creates a soul? Things like that. which JRPGs have always kind of been obsessed about, the nature of the soul and that kind of thing. But Nier Automata, the cats. Jesus, forgot to put that toy up. Anyway, Nier Automata really takes those story threads and really takes it to a really awesome place. Fuck, he's going to be playing with that ball all the time. Okay, she's leaving him alone. Good. Never a dull moment. But as the storylines progress, of course, there's multiple endings. There's actually, like, endings for every letter of the alphabet, so 26 endings. 4 of them are big endings, and then the rest of them are kind of all these little short endings that happen if you make a different choice at various points in the game, or if you die at various places. But of the big 4 endings, I got all 4 of them, and I'll probably go back and get all the little endings here and there. I really liked where the storyline went. All the characters were really fleshed out and really interesting to, you know, to play as. I think I liked playing as 9S the most because I enjoyed the hacking aspect. He has a special ability where he can take over enemies and make them explode and stuff, and that's really how his combat goes, because he doesn't have a second weapon like 2B does to sort of rack up big combos. But I really liked where the storyline went. You know, it being a Nier game, Drakengard game, there's no like big happy ending, I guess. It's all varying degrees of sadness, but I really liked everything that I did in the game. I really liked interacting with all the NPCs. It was just everything. There was never a dull moment in the game. There was never a moment where I sat back and thought, this could have been better written. Like, everything was just really interesting, really bizarre, and that's exactly how Nier Drakengard should be. From a gameplay perspective, this game is slick as hell. If you've ever played like a Bayonetta or anything like that, you kind of know what Platinum Games is bringing to this game. And Nier was always one of those games that always had really great ideas. And then the execution of the game, some people felt was kind of lacking. I remember reading reviews of the first Nier game, and I wondered what game people were playing, because they talked about how hard it was to play and like how broken the game was and stuff like that. And it all came back to this little fishing side quest that no one could complete, and no one could get further in the game because of this fishing side quest. Turns out everyone was just fishing in the wrong spot. But nevertheless, I always feel like that fishing side quest really drug Nier's, the reception of Nier down. This game is just out and out a masterpiece in action RPGs. It really, really, really is just, like I said, slick as hell. You know, it's the same model that Nier followed, that Drakengard followed. There's all these ways you can power up to B and 9S. You can equip... it took me a while to figure out how to equip the power-up chips and stuff like that. Like, the weird thing about the game is it sort of drops you in kind of blind. And what I mean by blind is if you go into the menu, everything's just scrambled and you can't read what you're supposed to do. And eventually there's a storyline thing where 9S helps 2B sort of reboot, and then once she sort of reboots, like you can actually read your menus and know how to save and stuff like that. I remember I played the demo a lot when it came out, and then when I played the actual game, for some reason, it seemed harder than the demo, and it might be just because it's the actual game, I don't know. But I remember dying a bunch, and I was like, oh, this is really annoying, because if you die in like the first part of the game, it like sends you all the way back to the title screen, and you have to do everything all over again. There's not really a way to skip a lot of the dialogue, because this is a very dialogue-heavy game. So it was really annoying, and I was like, why am I having so much trouble with this? I was acing the demo left and right, and the demo is basically the first, you know, however many half hour of the game. And then finally, I finally got through it, and I was like, what the hell? And I finally was able to save, but it was really kind of a frustrating experience. But yeah, you just a lot of action in this game, going around and slaughtering enemies. There's a lot of side quests to do, a lot of main quests to do, a lot of weapons to upgrade. I mean, if you're looking for an RPG that you can really just sort of sink your teeth into and have a lot to do, Nier is that RPG. Like, it really has a lot of things for you to do. And it actually has a very large world to explore. I was really surprised by how big the world was, and it feels a little overwhelming at first, but once you sort of open up the quick travel and you get an idea of how everything is laid out, it really doesn't feel overwhelming anymore. A lot of interesting and varied environments that you explore, but I felt like maybe Nier, the first Nier game, had more variety in its gameplay. I guess there is kind of a visual novel portion of the game, but Nier was a big mishmash of all these different styles of game. You had an action RPG, you had at one point, like I said, you had a visual novel aspect, you had shooter aspects. I mean, there was all these different gameplay modes, like a bullet hell shooter. And Nier Automata keeps that, and but it doesn't really, I don't know, I guess there is like side-scrolling stages now, which I can't remember if there was side-scrolling stages in the first Nier. But it keeps that sort of variety of gameplay going. The one thing, because I guess because the visual novel part of the game in the first game was such a just a what the hell, you know, moment. I guess I kind of missed that, but you know, I guess I don't know how many people would really care for that. I know, like, we were talking about like Lost Odyssey, people don't really care for all the memories and things like that, but I actually really like that portion of the game. So, but yeah, gameplay just solid. Probably one of the best action RPGs I've ever played, if not the best. I mean, it's just, I mean, it just feels like putting on a glove. It really does. Graphically, the game is gorgeous. Very muted color palette. So that's kind of, I mean, I guess I'm just kind of sick of the grays and dull greens and things like that. I mean, it fits with the environment that you're playing in, sort of a bombed out Earth. But at the same time, you know, now I'm playing Persona 5, and Persona 5 is just color everywhere, you know, and it really is really nice. And coming from Breath of the Wild, which was just color everywhere, coming back to sort of this muted, mature color scheme, I don't know. I guess it's a little disappointing, but graphically the game looks great. It's not going to be like, you know, the end-all be-all on the PlayStation 4. You know, there are games that are graphically better than it, but when you see how silky smooth everything runs and how it just kind of, you know, maintains its integrity, I guess it's a really great game to look at. The big thing for Nier and Drakengard and this entire series, of course, is the music. The music, look, the first Nier soundtrack was one of my favorite soundtracks of all time, if not my favorite. Nier Automata blows that first soundtrack out of the water. I mean, there were so many songs that I remember just kind of stopping the game and just listening to the music. That's really one of the big things with this series. I really love how the music interacts with the game, and it makes it feel this huge, epic journey in a way that, I mean, it's a weird thing about Japanese games. The music is always just amazing, and there must be all these amazing composers that live in Japan. And then when you get like a Western game, I don't know, man. Like the Western soundtracks for a lot of games, they just kind of let me down in a lot of ways, and they just don't have the themes and the drive, I guess, that I don't know what I'm getting at here, but I always prefer Japanese soundtracks to American soundtracks. There have been a few, I should say, Western soundtracks, not just American soundtracks. Like The Last of Us, that really stuck with me, and like the Halo series music really stuck with me. But for the most part, it really is the Japanese scores that you know, really light my fire, I guess. And playing the game, and you're just running along, and then all of a sudden you hear Emmy Evans's voice, which she has. She was the big voice that was on the first Nier soundtrack. She did some songs on Drakengard 3, and now she's back in full force on Nier Automata. Just hearing her voice as I was playing through these areas, it really brought a big smile to my face. Her voice is a character in these games. It would be like having a Star Wars movie without John Williams. John Williams. I don't want to say John Williams at the helm, because Rogue One didn't have John Williams, but the John Williams themes for Star Wars. You know, it'd be like that. It'd be like you know. It'd be weird to have a Star Wars movie without any John Williams themes. And it'd be weird to have a Nier Drakengard game without Emmy Evans singing somewhere on there. So, anyway, guys, yes, Nier Automata, I really, really love this game. I definitely think everyone should check it out. Even if you've never played any of the Nier Drakengard games, let this be your entry point, because this is a fantastic game. It connects to the other ones in sort of, you know, tangential ways. But it's not like you need to play Nier 1 to know what's going on in Nier Automata. They're kind of they're connected but separate in a way. So definitely check this one out, guys. Make this one a big hit so Square Enix keeps bringing out Nier. I really think that Nier Drakengard is going to be a series now that we see more of. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, because when you know, they're kind of separated as they have been, they're kind of special events when they come out. I don't want to see it become like a yearly thing. But to know that maybe Square Enix looks at Nier Drakengard now and says, this is a very viable franchise for us, maybe they'll cultivate it more, and maybe we'll continue to get the games, because I love this universe, and I love these games, and I would love to see more of them. So anyway, guys, Nier Automata, fantastic. Like, just one of the best games this year. Go get it. So that is it for this video. If you haven't noticed, the podcast is back. Another gaming podcast. We're back up and running. I thought we were going to record an episode this weekend, but apparently we're all just busy. So we're going to try to do it more frequently now, because we figured out that we have time. We have time in the every other weekend to do it. So we're going to try to do more. This is the 4th of July weekend, so of course everyone's kind of busy. But we do have a new episode up. We also have a mini-sode up talking about Alex, our newest member, and Steven. We're talking about Final Fantasy XII, so go check out both of those at the channel down below. And hopefully we can just keep this ball rolling. It was really great getting back with all the guys and talking about games again. I kind of forgot how much I missed doing the podcast. So hopefully we'll keep things going and get it back up and running, be stronger than ever. My videos will probably continue to be infrequent as I get games done, or as I get enough pickups to do a video. Or if you guys, like, I'm getting into miniature painting now. If you guys want to see that kind of stuff, I can do that. Or I'm getting into tabletop RPGs. I can talk about that kind of stuff. But I don't like doing the reaction videos anymore, where like a piece of video game news comes out and I'm like, well, here's my thoughts on it. That's something more we can do in the podcast when we're all sitting around talking. But I'll continue to do my my game discussions and my pickups and things like that. And if anything special comes along, you know, maybe I'll do a video for that as well. But I'm about 2 months out, 2-ish months out, 2 months and some change from having a little baby girl. So my time is going to be just out the window. But I'll do it when I can. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.